Hello, everybody. It is that time of the week that we have a stamp class. So as soon as I see somebody pop on, there it is right there. Usually that's where I see it. I will begin. I will just say that it's been a fun. We have puppies that are almost 2 weeks old. They're super cute. And they're starting to get kind of fluffy. It's kind of fun to see their progress. I'm expecting eyes to open in the next several days here. Okay, so yeah, there's that number right there. We have 2 people watching, Terry and Kat. So now, and, 3, now we have Alicia as well. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So let's officially begin with good Thursday morning and welcome to the Backstage Pass. As a holder, you get to view these classes and be inspired. These are just for you. So today's class is a pickup class and it's bring your own supplies class. And today I am bringing the Trucking Along bundle. So it's a stamp set and punch bundle. So if you don't have that bundle, don't worry. Just grab a bundle that you might have and you want to work with. Grab some DSP, the matching ink pads and cardstock, and create along with me. So today's class is a little different. Different how? This is going to be my version of a clean and simple card class. Now notice I said my version. So while the designs are pretty straightforward and clean and simple, they're not fast and they're not beginner, okay? So we do have some things we're gonna kind of dive into and kind of have some fun, try out some different techniques. So I think you might enjoy these. I'm using the Cheerful Daisies, or Fresh as a Daisy, is that the DSP name? I'm using that DSP because I felt like the brush stroke of the backs of them really kind of fit the vibe of trucking along for me because I like a good old vintage truck. Our barn has a couple of them parked out there. It's just kind of fun. Okay, so yes, hello Alicia. Thank you for the comments. Keep those comments coming so that I know that things are working and that I'm not just stamping to outer space. Okay, so let's flip the camera and go for a little business here. I have my basket that has the what's coming up in it. Okay, yes, Kat, I agree. It's a great choice of DSP for this. It actually works with a lot of DSP, but okay, so here comes the hand. You know what that means. We're gonna flip the camera around. Let's see what we've got going here. Okay. So let me bring you guys just a little closer. Whoops. Oh, that was my truck punch. Nope, I need to go this way. Nope, I need to go this way. Usually I have this all figured out, but I was feeding our little mama dog first, and so that took a second, and then I had to shoo out Brian because he can't be in that room, with her there. That's just not going to work. Okay, so today's class is Trucking Along. There it is. Cute stuff. I've just only kind of made 3 cards with this, and I haven't even used all the stamps. So I definitely see more in the future with this, more to do. Hello, Claudia. Good to see you here. So Trucking Along, that's today's class. And then let's see what we have coming up. Okay, so tomorrow is the last day to register for Zany Zoo. All right, tomorrow is the last day. Here's the Zany Zoo bundle. Here are the details. It's next week. I will give you a quick sneak peek of the cards. So this is our monthly class. This is the big granddaddy of the entire month. This is where we jump in and we make Artfully Avid style cards. Please tell your friends to join along. If they haven't ever bought a kit or stamped with me and they like to make projects that take just a little bit more time and have a few more details, then this is the class for you and for them. So here is a quick sneak peek. I won't give you an inside look, but this one's so puffy. All right, so we're making some fun stuff. And when you open them, they have cool details inside, as always. The hidden excitement inside is what's fun. Okay, Then moving right along, after that, we have our Upstyle class, which is going to be on the 7th of September. And this is going to be fun. It's going to be beautiful with the Meaningful Flowers kit. And we will not have a Use It Up class in September because my Use It Up class is right while I'll be at my nephew's wedding. And it just doesn't time right. So we're going to a wedding and then they're all coming here and we just have a lot of stuff going on that first and second week of September. So we do have a pickup class though. And so our pickup class in September is going to be the Rustic Crate Bundle. And I haven't opened the dies yet. But this little set in the Holiday Mini, or if you want to call it the September-December mini catalog. Most of you have received that, or you should be receiving that catalog any day now. This is just kind of a fun seasonal, you kind of have a summer, you've got fall, you've got the poinsettias, can take you into the winter. This is just kind of a cool little bundle here, and the crate intrigued me. So I have nothing like this. So that's going to be our pickup class in September. And, now this class coming right here. This one has me super, super, super excited because we had to change things around with the Studio Ink spots. Technique Time will be the Darling Details bundle. This is in the annual catalog. Okay. And the cool thing, well, I don't have these dies opened up yet either, but they have these cool, kind of eyelet lacy looking dies. And so my thought for this is we're going to combine this class with the Masterfully Made, or is it the Tastefully Gorgeously Made? I can't remember. The Masterfully Made DSP. It could be Masterfully Made or Gorgeously Made. I can never remember. Anyway, we're going to combine it with that and with some bright, bright pearls. And we are going to kind of stamp these with a nod to Dia de los Muertos. So I kind of want to do, not that we're going to have sugar skulls and all that, but it's going to have that type of flair. So rather than a traditional Halloween class, we're going to take this just in a slightly different direction, but they're going to be bright and beautiful. So that will be a good class. You definitely will either want to purchase so you can get it for free, or you can buy the class as well. Okay. So the information you've been looking for. Thank you to all of those who filled out my poll that I had to put up last week. When we looked at... Sorry, hold on. No barking. There's somebody at the front door. And they're not gonna, you guys be quiet. It's my pest control guy. Hold on 1 second. Stop. Okay, I'll be right back, folks. Sorry. No. Yeah. I'm back. Hold on. I gotta leave one more time. No, doggies. No. Okay. I wish there were a mute button. I'm sure there is. Stop it. Our pest control guy just showed up. My frustration level is really shooting up here. Sorry. Okay. So the pest control guy just got here and they're saying there's somebody in the yard. There's somebody in the front yard and the backyard. So hopefully they're now used to it. Sorry about that. Ugh. I knew he was coming too, but how do you keep the dogs from, I guess I could have shoved them upstairs. Anyhow, so thank you for those who took the poll. Because the dies are on back order until the middle of September, we had to move our Paper Florist camp. So all of the details of what we're going to do, none of them are changed except for the date. We're just rolling to October 6th and then the 12th through the 14th. Now, these are the days where we're actually meeting and having official, presentations and workshops and games and that sort of thing. But prior to the 6th, there are a few things happening that week. So this is going to be fun. We're going to feature the Paper Florist dies, and a whole bunch of other good stuff is on its way to you with this camp in mind. So if you go to my blog, you will be able to see all the different options. There's 4 options. You have the whole shebang. You have the option with everything but the dies and stamps. Okay. Then you have the just the class packets. Okay. And you'll have to purchase your own swag, and I'll let you know what that swag is if you join the number 3. And then the last one is PDF only. So there's good stuff coming. I'm going to shoot the dogs. Not really, but boy, oh boy. They are just noisemakers today. Okay, so Lily, stop it. They're schnauzers, and so they're very talkative. Okay, so today, let's grab our Cheerful Daisies DSP. Stop. Next time, find me. I should have put them, given them some, doggy melatonin or something. Okay, so the Cheerful Daisies DSP. I am going to pull out this piece here. And this piece here, this isn't Cheerful Daisies, Fresh has a daisy. This piece here is designed for you to have some different pieces to cut up and use. And that's exactly, I'm going to use this one right here for sure. And I'm going to use a little scrap of that one. But let me show you how to cut this up nice and easy. As you're seeing this paper, take a look at it and go, okay, where can I cut like if I cut here, I'm going to have to cut and stop and go down. Same thing here. So this is the first cut I'm going to take on this DSP because I can go all the way across without cutting up anything. So bring my paper trimmer. And the nice thing is this is like right at about 4 inches. Okay. So we'll just take that section off, and now you can cut these apart and use them as you wish. Now, if I look at the same thing, I can't, if I cut here, I have to stop, but I can go all the way across on that one. So I'm going to cut that one apart. Hello, Kathleen. You just missed all the stupid dog barking. About drove me insane. And now I can cut these apart. Just like that. And so now I have these into like 4 major chunks that I can easily separate. Now, this one I think would be a super cool backdrop for a trucking along card, but I didn't go there. I think I planned to, but I'm going to separate these two because I'm going to want these two in just a minute here. So I'm going to keep these handy. Okay. And let's see, I'm going to put these all back in my DSP pack here. And I have some other pieces of DSP ready to go. Let's see. So I have my little caddy that has all of my pieces for today's class. And let's see. For our first card, I'm going to start with, you either love it or you hate it, the wild wheat. And so this is a half sheet. We'll call it hot dog style because it's long. It's a half sheet of wild wheat. And I have scored it right down the middle with stupid dog barking. Yes, you missed all the excitement, Jolinda. Yeah, like a 5-minute long barking choir. Okay, so here we go. Wild wheat. Tell me in the comments, do you love it or hate it? I think it's a great color for fall. I also think it's a great color. I'm gonna shove them in the laundry room. Hold on while I put them in the laundry room. guy. Next time when the guy says he's coming on a Thursday, I'm going to say no, reschedule. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. The dogs are inside, and so they can't get out and bark at him or get out when he leaves the gate partially open, unintentionally. Okay, so, I gotta like find myself. Here's the piece of DSP I'm looking for from the Fresh as a Daisy pack. Doesn't that just scream, pickup truck, old pickup truck? Here's the other side. I love this side. We used this side in one of our legendary ride cards for her. Okay, so yes. All right, so Alicia says, love the colors. Glad you got the pest control, keeping your pets safe. Yes, just kind of going back, seeing if I missed anything. Good morning, Jolinda. Okay, so, all right. Moving right along, here's what we're going to do. We're going to stamp this piece first, and then we're going to texturize it. We're going to do something a little bit different. So let me grab a piece of scratch paper to have underneath while I'm stamping. And I'm going to stamp with the truck image itself, okay? So this is the outline image. And I am going to stamp in Pebbled Path. Let's see, got all my ink pads here. Let me find the ones we're going to use for this card. We're going to use Wild Wheat. And we're going to use Pebbled Path. We'll get the whole thing up here in just a second. And I'm going to use, okay, so now I have them all. So here are the colors we are using for here. And I'm also bringing in, you could use your Jet Black StazOn. I'm using our old Basic Black Archival. That's my favorite black. It's black. It's a true black. And it doesn't get sticky. So Boho Blue, Copper Clay, Pebbled Path, and Wild Wheat. And we're also going to need our water painter for this card. So I've got that handy as well. And let's begin with our technique here. We're going to start with Pebbled Path. And we're going to stamp the truck a bunch of times to create a background. So that's pretty easy. Get my muse up here. So I'm going to just start this one like right about here. And yes, I've stamped it off the page because this is going to be a background that goes all over. So I'm just going to put another truck right there. We'll do the back end over here. Okay. And now I'm just going to kind of keep filling this paper up until we've reached the bottom. And I'm going to stagger these to make this interesting. Just like so. We'll do another truck. Kind of want them, I don't want it to be right in line with that one. I do want it to be just kind of, relaxed. It doesn't have to be all perfectly straight. Just kind of adding these in here. So cool. Again, this is Pebbled Path on this piece of Wild Wheat Brushstroke DSP from the Fresh as a Daisy pack. Let's see, let's do this one. What to do? This one ends up being right in line. So maybe we'll move it forward just a little bit. And do I have enough room? Yeah, we'll put a little cab right there. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to do. Now we're going to make this a little bit more interesting. I want to give this piece of paper I want to give it some texture. So Jolinda said that your connection was delayed getting to you all as well. Okay. Well, hopefully it's not. Hopefully everything's okay, especially now after the stupid dog catastrophe. Every now and again, it's live. What are you going to do? If I were making a video, I would have totally stopped and restarted. Okay, this embossing folder here, you could use any embossing folder, but this is the crosshatch folder from the Basics folders. And it's an online exclusive. So you're not going to find this in a catalog. You're going to find it online. And it comes as a 3-pack. There's a Starburst, this crosshatch, and then the hobnail. So you've seen me use this before. but I thought this one was cool. You could also use an old texture one. The subtle folder I think would be really cool. Something that just has some, you just don't want anything too large a print, or you definitely don't want something like flowers, or you just want something that's texture. So I'm going to run this through my embossing machine, and I'm going to put a number 4 plate on top of my number 1. So that's my sandwich. So 1 folder and then 4. If you were working with a Big Shot, we'll just review. You're going to move so that you have no tabs on your platform, and you're using your blue plate. Okay, so here is my texture. And look how beautiful this is. I think that's just cool right there. But we're going to intensify this just a little bit more. I'm going to bring in copper clay, wild wheat, and boho blue. And so let's start with wild wheat, since that's the lightest of our 3 colors here. And let me give this a quick little scrub just to be sure. So when you use reds like copper clay and poppy parade, the photopolymer definitely holds on to those inks and stains, but you can see that they still stamp clean. Okay. So I'm inking up with wild wheat, okay? And I'm going to stamp off, and I'm not stamping off hard. I'm just letting the weight of the block grab some of this ink. And I am going to stamp right on top of this textural DSP, and I'm not pushing hard. And see how it's just picking up the crosshatch right in there. So cool. Well, and then look at this. Let me show you this. Is that not cool also? Giving you ideas. Now, I don't know that I'd put a crosshatch in my in my truck like that, but you could do it's kind of a riff on the kissing technique. And when it rains, it pours, or when the dogs bark, it just is crazy. And then you stick your finger in an ink pad. What a morning we're having, right? Okay, so ink it up, lightly stamp it off. And let's find another one here. Let's get a couple in the wild wheat color. Just enough to pick up the embossed lines. We'll stamp off, and let's see. Let's do this one down here. Just like that. And we'll do one more. Let's do this back end. All right, now we're going to switch to boho blue and do the exact same thing. Let me clean the stamp here. Ooh. Holding on to some color. Okay, boho blue, and stamp off. Just the weight of the block, stamp it off. You don't have to press hard. And I'm going to fill this one in. So it's a very subtle background. So I mentioned as we were starting our class that we were doing clean and simple cards, yet we definitely have some technique behind them. And so clean and simple, meaning that the layouts are clean and simple. It doesn't mean that we are just like throwing all just techniques out the door. We're still making it cool and fun. So we'll do this little spot right here. And let's see, let's do this one over here. Just like so. But it's a cool little technique to stamp on top of the embossed layers there, or levels, whatever you want to call them, ridges. Now let's move to copper clay. Okay, copper clay. This is a good truck color, I think. Stamp that off, and then line that up. Look. Isn't it cool? For a background paper, I know we don't, you know, sometimes it's like background paper where you put in all your effort into the background. Yeah, I am putting a lot of effort into the background. Okay, there's that one. We'll do these up here. This one. Okay, so I would love to see your version of this technique. See what you guys come up with. I love that it's not a full-blown, because if it were full color, I think it would steal from the focal point. But I think that that's kind of cool. Now, what size is this? I forgot to tell you what the size was of my DSP. I think you can kind of tell. It is actually, it's 4 by 5 1/4. So all of our cards today are going to just be that simple layout where we have a card base and then we have a 4 by 5 1/4 layer on top, whether it's landscape or portrait. So let's add this to our DSP. I really do love this side as well. It's a cool one. Let's see if we can get this glue to go. Nope. Okay. Dog's barking. Glue clogged. It's a usual Thursday morning. And then there's Brian. He decides to just throw a bark in here and there. It's like, what are you barking at? He doesn't know. There's nothing out there. The guy's in the front. Okay, so keeping it simple, just like that. All right, so tell me what would be a cool combination of this technique. You know, paper, stamp, and then embossing folder. What might be a cool combination? Gosh, I wish you guys could see it in real life. It really is kind of fun. Okay, so moving right along, let's create our focal point. And so I have just a scrap of Fluid 100 watercolor paper here. And I'm going to stamp the outline of the truck with waterproof ink because we're going to watercolor our truck here. So here is the truck image. And I'm just inking and tapping because this is an old linen pad. I can really kind of give it a push, but I really want my truck inked up. And I'm going to pop that right down there at the bottom. Put one more dog in the laundry room in a second here. And I'm really just kind of letting this, I don't do this with all my stamping, but when I'm stamping onto watercolor paper, I really want to give it just a minute to sink into the pores of that paper so we really get a nice crisp image. Okay, we're going to do this drill one more time. I'm going to put this dog, who's just barking, literally, he just stares up at the ceiling and barks. You're weirdo. Hey, you're going in there too. It's a party, go in there with your friends. Okay, sorry about that. Seriously, he's just kind of a weird dog. He was just looking at the ceiling and barking. So strange. Okay, I shouldn't have shut Boho Blue. We're going to shut it and give it a squeeze. All right, there we go. And I'm going to do the same thing with Wild Wheat. It looks like I had a little bit of ink left in that one. There's Wild Wheat.